All right, hello everyone. I'm BMillzebub, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you're all about as sick of hearing about COVID-19 or coronavirus as I am, but things have changed for me a little in that I've been given, and the whole state actually of Ohio has been given a stay-at-home order by the governor, Mike DeWine, at the recommendation of Dr. Amy Acton, who is the Department of Health Director. So that's a whole lot of fun. And by the way, you can find in the description, hopefully, if you're not looking at a old page before I added the link in there, in the side chat, there is a link to an NBC4i webpage, which will actually take you to the thing that I'll be reading from. The stay-at-home order is a 12-page document, so no, I will not be reading that whole thing. I'll just be reading the important bits that really impact me at all in the first page or two. And then I'll talk a bit about how it is I plan to cope with being stuck at home, because that's such a huge change in my life. So yeah, director's orders that all persons stay at home unless engaged in essential work or activity, stay at home in place of residence. There are some exceptions. Let's see here. What are the exceptions? To the extent individuals are using outdoor spaces when outside the residence, social distancing of at least 6 feet from any other person except family or household members. Let's see. All persons may leave their homes or place of residence for essential activities, essential government functions, essential businesses and operations. Homeless people are exempt, so that's good, I guess. But it'd be great if we could, get them housing so they're not homeless. Non-essential businesses and operations must cease, obviously, as much as Hobby Lobby would love to continue working. But hey, I mean, Hobby Lobby, the owner of Hobby Lobby's wife had a vision from God, so clearly they don't need to close, right? And hello, everybody who has recently joined. You haven't missed too much, only about 3 minutes, so. But yeah, welcome. So let's see, prohibited activities. Honestly, not much has changed. It's just a quarantine now, like a state ordered quarantine. No large gatherings. Non-essential travel is prohibited. Let's see here. Here we go. This is the important thing. Leaving the home for essential activities is permitted. Health and safety, so if you have to go to the doctor, necessary supplies and travel, food, toilet paper. I probably shouldn't have said toilet paper. I'm going to start another toilet paper run. Outdoor activity, so we are allowed to go to parks. Let me be a little more specific about that one, though. To engage in outdoor activity, provided the individuals comply with social distancing requirements as defined below, such as, by way of example, and without limitation, walking, hiking, running, biking. Individuals may go to public parks and open outdoor recreation areas. However, public access playgrounds may increase spread of COVID-19 and therefore shall be closed. Certain types of work, so I'm screwed because I work in essential service industry, which sucks. And to take care of others, like family member, friend, pet, stuff like that. So this part actually went quite a bit faster than I thought it would. And again, I was also kind of planning on actually reading all this shit. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's really all I've got for that shit. Steph, TP run, pun intended, maybe. But Purple still can't find toilet paper. That sucks, dude. And Stephanie can't find bread. Yeah, that's just no good all around. But yeah, I mean, shit, bread and toilet paper is still hit or miss around where I live, and Pirate Kitty's here with the ultimate pun. All the TP is wiped out. All right, so bearing all that shit in mind, you know, that I'm not allowed to travel. Not that I was doing any traveling anyway. And I'm not allowed to go out and have any fun, which I wasn't anyway. I mean, I recently started going to the gym, and the gym I go to has now been closed since the 16th. So I tell you one thing. I better get, you know, half of this month's payment back to them, and however much of next month that they're closed, I better get that money back. But because you know, it's one of those gyms you have to physically go to cancel your membership. You can't do it online, which sucks. But yeah, that was just one way I'd have been, you know, coping with being stuck. But I mean, I've got exercise bands, I guess. If I thought any exercise like store was open, I'd go get weights, but that's not the case at all. Let's see. Well, there's one idea. Sloth Girl got bread by asking convenience store manager about the truck route. So she went a couple stores over and caught it within 15 minutes of the truck unloading. That's not a bad idea. Steph, I hear the government might give all adults $2,000. I mean, we can only hope. I mean, I would hope that, you know, over a certain income level, they don't get that because, you know, they likely don't need it. It's not like people like us that pretty much live paycheck to paycheck. Let's see here. Fill empty milk jugs with water for 8-pound weights. 8 pounds is not enough. But, you know, I mean, like as for coping, you know, I can do some exercise at home. You know, I can probably engage a little more on here. But I mean, for the most part, if I'm not at work, I'm asleep. You know, but I mean, apparently I'm not prohibited from driving around, so I can do that. I still have that way to clear my head. I just bought Red Dead Redemption 2. I can play that a little bit. I've got other games I've been meaning to play. I got the Crash Bandicoot for the Xbox. You know, I got that original trilogy that's been remade for the newer console. So that's pretty cool. So I mean, it's not like my lifestyle is really going to change any, you know, because my life is pretty much like the meme, you know, it's that face you make when you realize the way you live your life is called a quarantine. That basically is me. So, yeah, what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and open it up to people stopping in and giving any suggestions they have for coping with quarantine, if that's something they're stuck doing. But yeah, Steph, Red Dead really does look fun. I played the first one and I absolutely loved it. Walmart is considered a grocery store, so yeah. The Walmarts where I'm at have shuttered their doors for third shift. So they're still open during the day, like 7 to 11 p.m., I think. 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. That was a little confusing. But I'm kind of wondering when my job is going to start doing something like that. Because, how do I put this without sounding mean? A lot of the customers that come into where I work don't seem to know how to bathe. And I say that because they come in smelling like they haven't bathed in several days at least. One guy is covered in soot somehow. I don't understand. It's it honestly wouldn't surprise me if where I work got shut down for third shift and they kept me on and just had me clean the whole shift. Like, take shit off the shelves, and clean the shelves, put it back on. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's a thing I had to do. Hello, Faye.
Hi.
How's it going?
Is it safe? Have you used your sanitizer on the link? Am I gonna get a virus?
You might.
Are you sure?
It's possible. You never know.
Let me use the bleach. Okay.
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 Just don't drink it.
Ew! My precious bleach?
There are weirdos out there that have been like, bleach kills germs, so drink bleach. No, don't drink bleach.
Hey, Angie. Hi, Purple Tria. Oh, wow. Pirate Kitty. Everyone.
Yep.
Everyone's here. Oh, my goodness.
Bunch of people tonight. But yeah, so how are you doing, Faye?
My mother called. That was interesting. If anyone's heard me talk about my mom, you know that she's severely OCD. And this is just whoa. Can you just say she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now?
Yeah, there are some people that are going overboard on cleanliness. Like, I've come across a few people that are overwashing their hands to the point where they're like red and sore.
You mean like me on a daily? Oh, I feel so sorry for them.
Yeah.
Darn. People should be washing their hands. I know people who consider rinsing their hands washing their hands. Like they don't know that they need to use soap. And this is sort of like vindication for me.
Yikes.
Right. Like if you handle food, you need to wash your hands before you touch your food and after you touch food.
Yeah.
Agree? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's that and wiping things down, say, people are using those wipes. It's like no. No. No, 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 no.
And there are people out there that don't wash their hands after going to the bathroom. It's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's always been an argument, whether or not people should do that.
It shouldn't be.
I know.
It's It's like you have fecal matter on your hands now. You need to wash that off with
Well,
some.
maybe that's why we get plagues every so many years. It's because people aren't washing and hygiene has taken a hike.
Wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
But honestly, if somebody can't get the products that they need, you know, if you can buy white vinegar, that'll work. In a pinch, if it's something that you're not afraid of pitting, due to the strength of the acid, you can try lemon juice because lemon juice has a lot of acid in it. Lots. And lime juice might be way too much acid because lime juice can cook an egg.
Awesome.
You knew that, right?
I did not, but I might do that as an experiment now.
Look up a key lime pie. You don't have to bake it. The lime juice in the pie bakes the pie. That's how strong lime juice is.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's really quite impressive just how strong, and I wouldn't use it on anything you want to keep around. Maybe if you wanted to sanitize like really disgusting laundry, as long as you wash it afterwards, so it doesn't, one, build up the sugar, and two, burn your clothes. There's that. But yeah, if you're feeling really, really manky and you don't have anything to clean with, those are two viable things that you can do if you can't buy anything. I know white vinegar around here is way too much money. And I think it's so cute. Like a few years ago, they came out with like white vinegar that you could clean with, and it's specially packaged. You don't need that. You just need white vinegar. Why would anyone pay extra for why? Why?
Because corporations want more money and people don't realize it's the same thing.
That should be illegal, in my opinion. To me, that's just price gouging.
Predatory.
Yeah.
Price gouging and predatory.
Hmm. Oh, and you can use the yellow vinegar, but it is higher in sugar. So I wouldn't use that for cleaning if you don't plan on rinsing. Because yellow vinegar, if you put it in a jar or whatever, it'll attract fruit flies because the sugar content's high.
There you go.
Yeah, white vinegar shouldn't be $4 a gallon. A couple of years ago, I had this like fantasy about starting up my own vinegar company because I use so much of it, right? And those spray containers that they use for weeds and stuff.
Mhm.
I wanted to fill those things with like white vinegar and then spray down people's houses and then hose them out. That would have been nice.
Oh, I mean, it's not too late.
Well, I do have my like cleaning fantasies where I make everything waterproof and then just hose things after I spray them down with vinegar. But cedar vinegar is also good to get the or cider vinegar, not cedar. I don't know why I said cedar. Like if you clean fish and your hands smell like fish, use the just splash some cider vinegar on your hands and then use like a bar soap thing and you won't smell anymore.
There you go. Maybe that could be your coping strategy if you get quarantined. If you haven't, making a vinegar company.
I would love to make a vinegar company, but I don't have the startup money for that.
Yeah, it does cost a little money. You've got a Patreon, don't you? Or
I
PayPal
do.
or something?
I do, but I don't really make many videos since YouTube changed and I can't seem to figure out live streaming on my own.
No, I just use StreamYard.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
I don't think it's easy, so
I
it
mean,
doesn't compute in my head.
I mean, I could teach
I'm
it to you
working
in
on it.
5 minutes.
Okay.
I
Well,
think I
you
think
can
I
do
could help
that. You can do that then. As a watertight door, so you could use the shower sprayer to hose down the entire room. Yeah, yeah. Purple. There's you gotta look up some Japanese and Korean bathrooms. They are just dead sexy. You can hose those things down.
I
Like
would.
they are designed to hose down. Talk about sexy. And also if the they have the drains on the floor, so if your tub overflows, it's not a mess, it doesn't create structural damage. Why don't we do that? No, we have this stupid ass system. Oh my goodness. Can't even tell you. Like I just look at our bathrooms and I'm like, ew, no. How are we so not advancing in the bath?
See, the bathroom I designed for myself is essentially that. It's designed to, just hose down and with a
And
uh,
there should be doors between the toilet and the bathing area.
that's one thing I didn't do in my design, but I will now.
Yeah, there should be like a little foyer between where you have your laundry baskets or your laundry. And it's like bathroom, laundry, shower, bath area. Nice. I don't know why bidets aren't common in the US, Purple, but they would be really nice.
I think it might have something to do with them being French, or at least being perceived as being French, and Americans have this weird thing about the French.
Why? We needed them to help start the country.
Yeah, we did, but I don't know.
You
American,
helped us, so we hate you. Oh,
what's more American than that?
true. I guess. You helped us, so we hate you. But my
Step.
mother called and she complained, and she made fun of people who needed the toilet paper, of course, because mom's awesome. And then she went on to like talk to me about like different ways. She's like, if you have alcohol that's over 65% alcohol, you can use that to sterilize if you're in a pinch. I said, I have plenty of bleach. And she went, okay, great.
Steph's got a design for a kitchen, all stainless steel graded floor with a garbage disposal floor drain.
Oh, I don't know about the stainless steel. Oh, I have to think about that. Maybe stainless steel walls and ceiling?
Could do it.
But I would like my floor to be more than stainless steel, I think, because I wouldn't want it scratched up every time you move the refrigerator.
That's fair. Not gonna be cold every time you step on it during the winter. So you'd
Like,
have to wear like slippers or something.
if I ever won the lottery, I would buy my town and then I would hire like architects from Japan to come in and put in reasonable housing. Small apartments, but totally functional. Like function over anything. I think people would be a lot happier.
It's possible. And by the way, everyone, I sent links to the group chats if anyone wants to hop in and contribute. It's not like there's a lack of opportunity.
So, have you done any panic buying?
Fuck no.
I didn't think so.
I'm not a lunatic. The only reason I considered going out and buying toilet paper is because I knew there were only 2 rolls left in the house.
Well, I have 3 rolls left in the house, and that should leave me. last until July, maybe August.
Yeah. But I only would have gotten like a single 6-pack of toilet paper. I wouldn't have done the panic buying of 48 different rolls, like some people have.
It's like they think that, oh, I'm gonna get coronavirus. I'm gonna wrap myself in toilet paper after I spray myself with Purell, and then I'll be fine. Whatever.
That's ridiculous. But
No, but I am concerned about several things, and that is so many small businesses closing down.
yeah, there definitely needs to, because I mean these people are screwed. These small business owners, like bar and restaurant owners, they're screwed.
What about
They,
dentists?
dentists, yeah, pretty much all small businesses need a stimulus package, but it's just going to be like the billionaires that get it again.
Well, I'm afraid they're going to do what they did for Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey. And like, you think of FEMA coming in and saving the day? FEMA comes in and saves you with a loan, a low interest loan, but still it's a loan.
It should not be a loan because I mean these big businesses, when Obama gave the stimulus, one of the stimulus packages he just gave them the money. It needs to be that, but for small businesses.
Oh yeah. Well, I know that I went to pay my electric bill and they said that I didn't have to worry about my lights being shut off until April, and I didn't have to pay unless I wanted to. But I paid it anyway because I hate being in the red, especially if I have the cash. And now I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I can't really give financial advice.
No, I'm not truly asking you. That was what's the word?
Making a statement.
A rhetorical question.
Ah, yeah.
Hello, Treya.
Hey.
Are you wearing your fabulous black dress right now?
No, I am not. I am not
Bitch.
quite sure where it is right now because I have to keep it away from the kitty because if he gets his hands on it or claws, it's a hanging thing and he likes putting his claws in hanging things.
Oh, you should see all my old jeans. They all have Patsy marks on them. She thought it was great to try to. She would reach up and do the classic pull, stretch.
Oh
rip.
yeah, Elmer loves doing that too to me.
And if I wasn't wearing my jeans, he'd do it on. She would do it on my skin.
Oh.
He thinks that's a loving way of saying hello.
It is though, because their little body language says "I love you so much."
Yeah. Nope. I am in t-shirt and pajamas. I have not felt like doing much of anything at all this week. I've had a bad week. Last week wasn't too great either.
Darling, welcome to the club. We're all in a bad place right now.
Yeah, I know I'm not alone. It was just I caught something while I was at the ER with my sister last week, and it's not corona. If it was, I'd be like way worse than I am, but it's definitely bronchitis or bronchitis-like, and it is not wanted to let go. So
I've been running a fever since Christmas.
Oof. Ugh.
Ask Angie and Nadine and Linda. They all know I've been really freaking sick. And I'm still sick. Here I am, hopped up on cold medicine. Come on, mess with me, mess with me.
We don't have cold medicine, which is making it harder for me to get over this.
Girl, what the fuck? You don't have any cold medicine?
Okay.
What do you do? Wait until you get sick? You don't have a little drawer cabinet?
Hold on. January,
okay, I'm gonna give you shit. Uh-huh.
January, I got sick. I sucked up some of the cold medicine.
And
February, my dad got sick, sucked up some of the cold medicine. My sister then got sick after my dad, and my sister never tells us when she uses the last of anything.
I hear excuses, but like,
And now, because everybody's scared of the coronavirus, the pharmacy section of all the grocery stores and everything, there's nothing there.
yeah, call your pharmacist, tell them to order it, and when they get it in, tell them to deliver it, and you'll pay at the door.
Okay,
Yeah, serious.
I believe you because you've never given me any terrible advice. I just didn't know you could.
Yeah.
So the okay was more of a shock than anything else.
Oh yeah. One thing I've learned is if you're sick or unable, you can call up your pharmacy and they will deliver to your door.
That's something I never knew.
Yeah.
Seriously. Cuz I had surgery about 10 years ago and the doctor was like, "Here's some pain meds." And I'm like, "I don't need them." Cuz I don't cuz they don't work. Pain meds only make me tired. They don't do anything about pain. I'm one of those people.
Hmm.
So
Oof.
I called them up though and I said, "Hey, my usual prescriptions. I'm not making it there. I've got I'm recovering from surgery." And they're like, "Well, you didn't order any pain meds." I'm like, "Because I don't need them. What I do need are I need my mental health drugs. Thank you very much." And they're like, "Okay, we'll deliver them." Oh, okay. Nice to be
Awesome.
me. Thank you much. And then I found out most pharmacies have this policy. And they may not deliver until Wednesday, or they may not deliver until Friday, or they may have certain days, but they will deliver if you ask them to.
That's cool.
I will definitely check that out tomorrow while I'm doing other things.
Pirate Kid.
'Cause- yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Pirate Kitty.
Hi, Pirate Kitty.
So, how are you doing on quarantine, or are you?
I'm not. I'm in an essential business.
Well, so am I, but otherwise I have to stay at home.
Oh well, this is my life is quarantine. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a transplant in the South. I'm liberal, religious South. I don't get along with these people down here. I play my video games. I hang out with my boyfriend, and I do internet.
I most people just assume that I have a lot of the similar views that I had as a kid because I'm pretty good at hiding it, mostly for my own sake. But with the exception of a few friends, I tend to avoid people, so I kind of get it. Even though I'm not a transplant,
Hmm.
I live in a highly Southern Baptist town that is literally controlled by the Southern Baptists, and it is very, very hard sometimes to be around other people.
Well, I had an argument with my therapist years ago, and it was basically, can we do all of our sessions on the phone? Because I don't want to go into your grubby, scrubby, germy waiting room. And they're like, no. But now I can get my phone appointments. And I was like, it was possible all along. The technology back then existed. It's called Skype. And she's like, I know. And I'm like, can we keep this up after the virus thing? And she goes, well, we really do want to see you when we can. I was like, yeah, can we limit that? I was like, seriously, can we limit that? Because if I had it my way, I'd be working online. I would be doing appointments by line. I'd do my shopping online. I'd never go outside, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, it's amazing what all is possible now that they didn't. They were like, no, it's not really possible. It's like, no, you just didn't want to do it, you fuckers.
Well, do you know
Lay
what
off.
kills me? Like for years and years and years and decades, we've been making people go to work sick.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
they spread things like the flu, and it's something like 56,000 people a year die from flu. And those people never had to die from flu, most of them, because if it wasn't for grubby people traveling to their jobs, jumping through hoops, that wouldn't have to happen. And
Hmm.
if a
Yeah.
certain percentage of the population can actually work from home, why the fuck don't they? Do we really? I mean, the upside of this plague is that climate change is slowing down because we're polluting less because we're traveling less. Yay! Is this what it takes to get the fires to stop burning? We just stay at home for a few weeks?
See, what I think is hilarious.
Yeah,
What I think is
I,
hilarious is that I'm doing this live stream talking about how to cope with quarantine, and literally everyone that watches my channel self quarantines at all times.
I'm an introvert.
yeah.
I'm an introvert.
Well,
I hate people.
I need to go out about an average of about once a month to not feel trapped. But I had already kind of felt trapped before because I had been broke as hell. So I mean, it was just like, oh hey, guess what? Now you have to stay home, and I'm like, well, I was already fucked up over this anyway. So what does it matter now?
Faye, I think the word you're looking for is misanthrope.
That would be me.
I don't think I'm quite a misanthrope. I think
Oh,
it's
I am.
more. It's not. It's not that I dislike socialization, it's that I find certain kinds draining and other kinds not so much.
Well, I thought misanthropy it didn't really have anything to do with interactions. It was just hating people. Period.
That's me.
No, I don't hate people, period.
No, but that's the word he gave me.
Mm.
Ah,
Yeah,
true.
I'm the misanthrope.
I hate people when I'm at work.
I
Like,
hate people when I leave my apartment and I don't let people in my apartment.
see, I'm good with being able like I've asked as a joke, and I think people took me seriously, but I'm like, can you be situationally racist? And they were like, what do you mean? I mean, like hating people only when I'm at work because they have the ability to screw me over because I can't tell them if they're being stupid or something like that. And they're like, no, that sounds like misanthropy or whatever the full actual use of the word is.
But even then, it'd be selective because you
Right.
only hate people at work.
I don't hate individuals unless I hate that individual. But if you just talk about the human population, I don't want anything to do with them. I'm a bit of an introvert. I'm a large introvert. I don't like to travel. I don't like to visit. I don't like to be touched.
Fair.
No, I'm not fond of being touched either, unless it's someone that already knows they can.
Like, you know, when you pay for something and the cashier accidentally touches your hands?
Oh,
Don't fucking touch me. Put the money on the counter, please.
did you put the money in the cashier's hand?
No.
Okay, never mind then.
No, I lay it out neatly. I lay it out neatly and I put the change in neat little piles and I count it out for them and they scoop it up. And if they owe me change, like if I don't have enough coin, they always just shove it in my hand. And it's like, why
Because
did you do that?
we're trained that it's rude not to do that.
Yeah.
I
Most
was a
places,
cashier. I
Well-
never touched people.
well, I mean, you can do it without touching if you're careful. But some people are just not careful.
Not really, no.
And I was the lady who always like Lysoled my drawer before I started work that day.
I'm fucking sanitizing everything where I work twice a night now. It's annoying.
My job has not changed. The only thing that's changed is I don't have to drag my little sister to doctor's appointments because all of them are canceled. That's about the only change to my job that's happened.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, nobody seems to. I'm not working as much as I did, so I'm guessing I'm going to be in trouble. However, that's okay. I'll get through it.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask during the interview we were going to have if I could somehow manage getting a raise, and basically the department that's in charge of that said we're not meeting and nobody's meeting face to face. You have to sign this paperwork, and I've read through it, and it says nothing about what my hours are or how much I get paid, and I'm a little bit suspicious. Not of the person doing my paperwork. She's great, but I'm a little bit suspicious of Florida government trying to pull something.
We always have to ask what you're getting paid.
I am gonna ask her, like, I'm gonna have it because both my sister and I have to sign it. I am gonna ask our person, call her on Monday and ask and make sure that what she's turning in is exactly what I've been getting before. Because it would actually be easier for me to talk to her about getting more stuff if we were sitting down with the whole stack of paperwork and not just this. And it's almost impossible to do over the phone, especially with my little sister, because most of those questions are going to be geared towards her, and she doesn't do phone. She absolutely does not do phone. The only phone calls she makes are the ones that are routine for her that she's been doing for years. So, but yeah, I remember they didn't change my hours, but they changed how much I was paid one time when I wasn't paying attention. So this time I'm going to be on that because I can't afford for them to do that shit again.
Feels better.
On the nice part, I have been able to catch up on my anime.
I feel like I'm the only person in this live stream right now that doesn't watch anime.
No, I don't really watch anime. There's a couple I like, but it's not really my thing.
I'm familiar with anime, but I don't actually sit down and watch any of it.
Okay, so for once, I'm not alone.
I can see why other people enjoy anime. I just don't enjoy it myself.
You see, I don't understand statements like the ones that all of you made because anime has genres, just like books. It's not a one size cookie cutter fits all type thing. It's
I'm not saying
very,
I
very
understand that,
diverse.
but you have to also understand that there are certain things that it's hard for me to find something that engages me enough that isn't too syrupy sweet and isn't too dark. And by the time I've figured out whether or not I want to actually watch that anime, it's like I don't feel like bothering. Because if you don't have me in the first 10 minutes, that's it.
Isn't that the same with any entertainment?
Yeah.
Like,
But
I
I
can't
also
tell
tend
you.
to
I mean, that's why I don't go to movies, because I don't want to invest in something I'm ready to walk out on in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but the thing is that once you've done that for the 50th time, you're just like tired of trying. And I also don't really watch a lot of movies either, except for ones that I already know, because I usually have them in the background, not paying attention to them.
What about television
I
shows?
don't watch TV.
Okay, we have that in common. So, what do you watch? Anything?
Mostly 90s and 2000s sci-fi, and
So, there's no chance that they're going to bore you for the first 10 minutes and you need to move on?
no, because they're in the background. I already know those shows backwards and forwards. They're in the background, and I'm usually doing 2 or 3 other things with them while they're on.
You could do that with anime.
Yeah, but I don't know anime.
It's
The point
just.
is that she knows it so well that she doesn't have to pay a lot of attention to it.
Yeah.
She's
Whereas
not
if you're
really
watching,
watching.
but if you've got something
Hello.
on that hello purple,
Hey,
but if you've
Purple.
got something on that's new that you've never watched, it's gonna be it kind of would end up being a distraction in a way because like imagine if if I'm watching The Princess Bride for the 30th time and it's just playing on the TV and I'm doing something else, I don't have to be paying attention all the time. But
Yeah,
if
but you
something
still had to watch it to begin with.
Yeah, but I watched it 20 years ago.
so then
I'm not watching it now.
Nah.
I
I
tend
mean,
not
how do
to.
you have the Princess Bride on in the background? That's a movie you have to watch. That's
Oh,
a
yeah, I was
great
going to
movie.
say, you really.
I don't know
I
why that was
couldn't.
what
Yeah,
I
and
said.
you know the last time I watched Princess Bride?
When?
Probably about 3 years ago.
I think I watched it while I was in the hospital a couple of weeks ago with that damn what's it called small bowel obstruction. I have to say I think I watched it because I was really stoned on painkillers.
I was
Oh,
about to
So I
say,
don't remember.
but
now that you're completely healthy, I'm going to say the line that I wanted to back then. Hey, Bub, you're so full of shit.
Actually,
Ha 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 ha.
I was literally.
Yeah, I know.
Good
But now
thing you
that
could still
now
get
that you're
toilet
not,
paper then.
yeah, he didn't
Well,
need it.
actually, I wasn't able to use the bathroom purple.
Yeah.
I
So
wish I could
those
help you
guys
guys
would have
because,
done
like,
nothing.
I know you guys keep saying, "Oh, there's no toilet paper, there's no bread." I mean, it's really low where I'm at, but like we're getting toilet paper almost every day.
Yeah, we don't have milk, eggs, butter, meat, anything. We don't have
Yeah.
anything on the shelf.
okay,
Well, the
Pirate
toilet
King?
paper is coming into the stores every day,
Right.
but I heard one of the employees saying that when it came off the truck, there was literally a line of people following the pallet to the display area.
Jesus.
So they were sold out 10 minutes after the truck arrived.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't see why people need so much toilet paper and paper
Big
products.
They don't. They're just panicking, most of them.
Just,
But
oh no,
why
we're gonna
toilet
give
paper of all
years.
things? You know, why
Because
isn't it like food staples?
You mean
Oh,
like
food staples
tuna
are
fish and
gone in
peanut
my
butter?
area. I had to send Dad to several different stores to find a stocked store, and I have only told 2 friends where said store is because they were having the same problems I was, and I was like, please, unless it's like a family member, don't share this because then none of us will have anything.
Yeah.
Like, I have about 800,000 people in my city, and like 90% of them are panic buying.
Well, I live in an area with a very, 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 very low population. And all the grocery stores are sold out.
Hmm.
I just talked to my landlord today to see if, it's like, hey, if you bag a deer, think of me.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I did.
Oh, I don't blame you. I mean, there were a couple of times when I was living out in Olustee, which is basically a town of about 800 people. Uh, I remember when
I've
we were short on food, we'd ask the guys to, bring us home a little bit extra if they found it. So,
I've got about one package of oatmeal, um, three frozen hamburger patties, some frozen fruit, a thing of Bisquick for pancakes, and I hate pancakes. One package of French fries, and what's this? Oh, fish sticks.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it. That's
while I
all I've
really
got.
dreaded the idea of moving during the winter, I'm glad that we did it when it was cold enough that instead of emptying out the deep freeze, we decided to just duct tape it shut and move it full
Uh huh.
because it was going to stay frozen in the truck.
oh yeah.
So at least this way, if we hadn't done that, we would be, worrying about things, but we still came up pretty well stocked.
That's pretty good.
At worst, I have enough to last us a couple of months with rice and the rice noodles that we bought. So I can get creative with the stuff that I have around the house. It would just suck to eat nothing but rice for a while, but I otherwise I'm not really like too concerned.
Well, spring is coming, and I'm pretty good at
Yeah.
foraging. I've done that, I think, every spring and summer for the past 10 years, and I can make some pretty good dandelion salad.
I didn't panic buy, but like as soon as it hit my state, and people started doing the there was almost no water in my store. I'm like, when I get off, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy a little bit. So I found a 40 pack of bottled water and I bought that. And then the next day when I went home, I spent about $40 on canned goods, rice, and yeah, canned goods and rice. Canned fruits and vegetables and some ravioli and canned chicken. And then a week later I did it again. I spent another $40. So my cabinet is full. There's four boxes of rice, uh, about 12, 13 cans of ravioli, veggies too, and fruit. So if it ends up being that we have to quarantine, we'll at
Rice
least
would be
have something.
nice right now.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
me,
have
that's
any.
just the normal thing that, usually we just keep enough stock on hand that we're good for about a month anyway.
Not me. I'm afraid.
We don't have room for that. We barely have room to keep 2 weeks worth in the house.
I've got plenty of room, but I'm afraid of things like moths and things. I'm only one person, so if I buy a lot of food, it sticks around for a long time.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I had to send my dad out to a store we wouldn't normally think of, and found stuff there. We're not going to be eating what we normally do, but I can make it work.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring here is that, we might not have what we want to eat, but we're certainly not going to go hungry for a while.
Yeah.
That was one of those things that I didn't understand early on when people were like, we're talking about the whole buying foodstuffs, and I was like, what? Like they were worried about it going to waste, and I'm like, what are you buying that you wouldn't eat? Like Like, were you just going out and like looking for like 10-cent canned salmon and buying salmon despite the fact that you hate salmon? What, that don't make no sense to me. Like, I bought stuff that I knew we'd eat. I know my boyfriend likes pears, so I bought canned pears. I know that I'll eat cold ravioli, cold Chef Boyardee ravioli, so I bought cans of that. You know, I didn't buy stuff that like we wouldn't normally be eating.
How do I put this?
Yeah, it's something my father, well, both of my parents, grew up in the Depression. So it was just a thing with my dad about always, keeping the pantry and the basement stocked. Of course, that was also a bomb shelter, but nobody mentioned that. That the slab under our front porch was actually 6 inches of concrete.
I live in an area where pests are a problem.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that attracts them is food. And pantry beetles can bore into metal.
Oof.
Damn.
They can eat through lead pipes, etc., etc. They do structural damage. They love grain.
I'm sorry, what kind of pests are you dealing with?
Pantry beetles. They kind of frighten me.
I didn't know they could eat through metal.
Yeah, they can. Um, I clean for a living, as everyone knows. One of the things that I've had to do is clean up after hoarding, whether it's food, paper, etc., etc. I have had to wear hazmat suits. I have walked out of jobs like basically to hit the hose and wash the maggots off.
Oh.
So, I have this fear of anything lingering in my place. And this is something that I grew up with. My mother is way more OCD than I am. However, like I I wipe my recyclables daily because I'm afraid. I have this fear. There are some things I'm not afraid of, which is baking soda, borax, vinegar, etc. But when it comes to anything grains or anything with a scent like peanut butter, like I'm always afraid that peanut butter will bring mice into my apartment. So I don't normally keep things like that around. And me living alone, it would take me 2 years to eat a jar of peanut butter because I hate it. You know, occasionally you get a craving for something, then you try it and you're like, yep, still hate it. And then you're stuck with the jar of peanut butter you have to eat.
Yeah, my system doesn't react well to peanut butter.
So
Although,
this is just specifically for peanut butter since you mentioned it. But if you ever get a craving, they are now selling what are called peanut butter to go, and they're like little dipping cups. So if
I
you have a,
can't do that
you can't.
because I look at the extra plastic and think landfill.
yeah, I've seen those.
There are some packaging things. It's like, oh, this is great. It's better for single people like me, but yet on the other hand, I sit there and go, but why isn't it in glass where I wouldn't feel as you know
Yeah, something that could at least be recycled.
quicker? Yeah, because there's this whole thing about recycling going on. And what's this about you with your foot, broken glass, and an injury and blood?
I was about to ask that myself.
Ooh, what?
Well, when I got up, there was blood dripping from my foot. The broken glass came later.
What
So
happened?
maybe this is a hint that working with power tools barefoot in my pajamas all evening may not have been my best idea all week, but
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you do.
I really don't know where the blood started. It just was there when I got up.
Have you never watched New Yankee Workshop? Did you not listen to Norm Abram at the beginning?
I mean, you've been working in construction long enough to know better. Come on, Purple.
Yeah, well, self-preservation has never been one of my strong suits. I really don't understand how I lived past 25.
Well, sweetheart, just so you know, I'm flipping you off as hard as I can right now.
It's a bad Triceratops.
Oh, please, no injuries, please. Please, please. We want to avoid hospitals right now.
Yeah, well, fortunately, I am pretty good at first aid, so the hospitals are a pretty rare event for me. I did way too many of those with my
Anyone else
fiance
hear an excuse?
because her asthma was set off by all sorts of things.
I think I hear an excuse for not being careful. Anyone? Anyone?
Well,
Yes, I'm giving you shit
you
right
waste
now.
all that time on prevention when you can just fix it up afterwards.
Oh, don't even.
I
start.
couldn't count how many times I've glued my fingers back together. I
I'm the
actually learned
same
that from a
way.
doctor in the ER that super glue is very effective for when there's not enough skin to sew back on. And
I've
actually,
done
that
it.
the solvent also acts as an antibiotic.
You know I've done it, but that doesn't mean don't be careful.
Yeah, I just don't think about those things when I'm, focusing on the project and what I need to do.
Yeah, maybe you should. Just saying, giving you shit. If I didn't
Yep,
give a fuck about you, then I wouldn't give you shit. Think of it that way.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, Tria, I am lecturing everyone tonight. I told you I'm hopped up on cold medicine. I've been sick since December. I've been running a fever, and my kidneys hurt.
Oh,
There's
Yeah.
nothing I can do about it. My guts hurt so bad that when I sit down or stand up, I feel like I can feel every internal organ I've got.
Actually, I hadn't mentioned that, but that was something I'd wondered about, Faye, was that, the several months of the cold medications do not do good things to your kidneys.
No, I feel like total hell. I feel like hell. And when people are like, "Oh, I'm worried about you," well, I'm worried about me too. But let's not focus on my imminent death. But yeah, stay out of the hospital, dude. Try harder not to bleed.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay, we'll see. But at least I think I talked to my sister about getting eggs because she has a friend who raises ducks.
Okay,
And duck eggs are
interesting.
good.
Never
But
had.
I don't think I'll be able to get eggs anywhere else because, well, there are no eggs to be bought. There is no butter to be bought. There is nothing to be bought.
Yeah, ours isn't so bad here. But yeah, I was looking at a map of the virus spread the other night, and basically it's started on both coasts and is moving toward the center. So the closer you are to an ocean, the more cases there are likely to be.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Tell me about
known
it.
cases.
Yeah,
We don't just like
yeah,
South
reported
Korea.
cases.
Come on.
Yeah, we started with two. I think it was two confirmed cases earlier in the week. We're already up to 24 within the past week.
Well,
We're
last week we
Two?
got a notification that someone in our building had been exposed, but then a couple of days later they sent another notification saying that they were declared as being low risk.
Low risk for what? For contracting it or for dying?
For spreading it.
Yeah, I got one of those emails. Apparently, somebody in my apartment complex has tested positive, but we're an open plan apartment complex, so there's no elevators, no common doors, no common area. So
Yeah. Well, the notices we got were incredibly vague, but I got the impression that, like somebody had been on a plane or something with someone who had it, but then they tested negative.
oh, you guys heard Mr. Bear tested negative, right?
nope.
I thought
Yeah.
he tested positive.
No, Mr. Bear came back negative.
That's good.
Okay,
Uh,
I hadn't
Alana,
even heard anything about Mr. Bear in this.
Yeah,
Alana,
Mr. Bear was exposed or something and had to be tested.
yeah, Alana's is fighting something or other. It's not the coronavirus, but it is kicking her ass, Alana's Garcia. Um, but she tested negative. But yeah, there's something kicking her ass right now. Um, and she's at home, basically basically quarantined and trying to keep away from her teenage kid.
Ugh,
Uh,
that's got to be difficult.
and I'm listening
Yeah,
to this and I'm spreading honey on my big toe.
Yeah. So when it hit Georgia, there were 2 cases. It's now up to 300, and that's in 20 days. Yeah. And there's been 23 deaths.
Let's
That's
see.
quite sudden.
Mhm. Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I say 300? I meant 620.
Hmm. Let's
Yeah,
see.
Sloth Girl's picked up on that project about sewing the fabric masks for the hospitals. So she's got somebody coming over tomorrow to pick up a batch.
yeah. I need to get my space cleared out so that when I feel better, I can start doing that. Because I have a monster of a sewing machine,
Mhm.
and uh, I could actually probably do some masks myself in between taking care of my sister and all that stuff.
And you
Uh,
know,
Did
in
you hear that Trump said, "Oh, masked, you can wash those, you know."
no.
Oh,
Did you see that? Did you see that?
well,
How does that make you
Whatever
feel?
whatever Trump says about coronavirus, do the opposite. That is probably the best medical advice you'll ever hear.
I heard
Well,
that and I'm like, oh my goodness, the dumbasses around here are gonna follow that advice. Thank you.
unfortunately, I saw some reports that some hospitals are having to have staff reuse even the paper masks just
yeah,
because they
they
can't
are.
get any new ones.
They are.
Some protection is better than none, but I mean, Jesus Christ. No, they are not intended to be reused and washed like that.
Yeah, well, my sister is a nurse in a senior care facility, so I'm rather concerned about that.
My sister's a nurse. They don't wear masks. She was exposed this week. I
Oof.
asked her, she's taking her temperature, and she just said, why the fuck should I bother? They're not doing anything to prevent contagion in my place. Like nothing. They're doing nothing.
Damn.
Nothing at all. And they are a doctor's office.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the facility where my sister works, pretty much the only thing they've done is to not allow visitors.
Great.
No. I'm looking at a map of Ohio broken down by counties and how many cases there are. Right now, there are 351 confirmed cases, and about half of them are in just Cuyahoga County, where Cleveland, Ohio is. That's ridiculous.
yeah, they're doing the county breakdown thing too. The county that I live in is the number 1 infected county. It's 111 people so far. And then the county that I work in has got 53 confirmed cases. But here's the fucked up thing. It tells how many tests were done. In 20 days, they've only tested 3,099 people.
Of course, because, capitalism.
Need to be a
Anyway,
little.
I was listening to NPR the other day, and the content of the show shocked me.
Mm.
Absolutely shocked me. Because it was either like some sort of disease expert or you know how NPR is. They try to get a hoity toity person in to talk about it. Well, this hoity-toity person says, "You don't understand. You people don't understand. Yes, summer's coming and it's going to seem like it's slowing down, but it's going to be winter on another part of the planet, and it's going to go there, and it's just going to circle back around again." She's like, "This is not, you might get a break, but it's not over.
Yeah.
We all need to be doing this globally. We're not doing it globally. This is no way to shut this down." And she's like, and they asked her a question about like the government, blah blah blah, their advice, and she goes, "Oh yeah, if you listen to the government, we're all going to fucking die. Use your common sense. Wash your hands, people." And I'm like laughing because I'm like, I can't believe she said that on the radio. And they bleeped her and they're like, we don't curse here.
Yeah, since everybody was giving statistics for their state, I just looked up the Minnesota Department of Health. So they've got 169 people tested positive, only one death, and over 4,500 people tested.
I mean, where I'm at, the county I live in, there's only one confirmed case, and it's a 27-year-old woman. Let's see, but the
Yeah.
hospital where I live has set up a drive-through testing. Basically, you drive up, you get tested, and you leave. And like 2 or 3 days later, however long it takes to do the test, you get your results.
Yeah, they're talking about doing that in Walmart parking lots, and I told my boss they do that, I'm not coming to work. Because you know the dumbass kind of people that shop at Walmart are going to be like, I'm going to get tested. Oh, maybe I'm positive. I might want to go to the Walmart and get some supplies.
Yep.
Well,
We have county-wide testing. We have several testing sites. However, you have to get a primary care physician.
You're
to,
echoing.
Hold on. Let me figure
Yeah, I
out
think
why.
there's only been 2 confirmed cases in my county. Which, considering this is a decent sized city, I'm surprised it hasn't been higher.
Trio, what's a PCP?
primary care provider.
Oh, okay, because you posted something and you said PCP, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
You
Yeah.
have to have a primary care physician. It's Twitter. I was trying to do shorthand, but yeah, I would basically be fucked because the only primary care physician that I would be able to get I would have to go down to the free clinic, convince them that I'm eligible for the free clinic while sitting in the room with other people who are trying to get in. And even if I don't catch coronavirus, I could bring something home to my sister or my dad that could make them sick. And if it gets complicated enough for them, then they wind up going to the hospital, which further exposes them. So I'm basically like, okay, well, might as well just stay away from everybody.
Yeah. No, I mean, with this drive-through system my hospital has set up, you do need recommendation from your primary care doctor. You can't just go and get it.
Well, and I have no problem with screening because obviously you don't want everybody to go get screened and then use up what little supplies we have. That's not my issue. My issue is there needs to be another alternative for people who don't have the primary care.
Yeah, that's the one part of it I'm concerned with here is that since we just moved, neither of us has seen a doctor here. Neither of us has a primary care physician in this state.
Well,
So
worst case
we're pretty
scenario,
much left
call
to
a doctor and ask them what you should do.
Yeah, we're pretty much at this point left to if one of us starts having symptoms, the emergency room is the only thing that's available to us.
Yeah, I've been reading the stupid things with the requirements to get tested. Like, Narradia posted something about a friend of hers whose coworker tested positive for the coronavirus, and her friend's her friend can't get tested because she's not been out of the country, despite the fact that she works with someone who tested positive for the disease. Like how stupid is that?
Yeah, that's
Very.
screwed up.
But do you know what irks me? Up until like a few weeks ago, the only thing that they were concerned about was the stock market. Plagues aren't new. One, two, if businesses are freaked out about it, why the fuck didn't they have a plan? Like this whole thing kind of messes me up, and they're like, well, there was a plan, but it's like, no, there's no plan if when it strikes it's a surprise. Like
Yeah,
one of the politicians said, "Oh well, FEMA blah 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 doesn't have this sort of thing on its disaster plan." And I'm thinking, well, what are you people for? I mean, what is government for? Plagues aren't new in human history.
yeah. Well, one of the things that's a problem is that there were a lot of positions that Trump never filled.
No,
Director
this
of
isn't
FEMA
just
was one
Trump.
of them.
This isn't just Trump.
Yeah, but I mean, Trump never had a director for FEMA. I don't even know if there's actually one now.
Even if there isn't, there should be something in place from before. Like there should be laws on how to handle this
Yeah,
even from before.
Mhm.
There should be like plans that big businesses had to deal with plague from before. This is not a new
yeah,
portion of human history. It's like, yeah, the current coronavirus is new, this particular strain,
yeah.
but plague is not new, and they had no plan.
Yeah, but it's always that attitude that it won't happen here. That only happens in the poor countries.
Yeah, I think my friend
Have
Steph
they
has it.
never read a book?
I think Steph here has it. Corporations only worry about how they look this quarter. They don't really bother themselves with long-term planning.
That's no
Unfortunately, true.
excuse. That is absolutely no excuse, though.
I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm saying that's how corporations operate under the form of capitalism we have. They only care how they look this quarter.
Okay, let's
They don't care about long term.
I mean,
I understand what you
And that's
say,
their
but
fault.
the thing is, we had a bridge that connected from New York to Vermont, and it had to be blown up and rebuilt because the locals said and the politicians said we didn't have the technology to keep the bridge up. The technology to keep the bridge up was paint.
Awesome.
Yeah, what they meant is they didn't bother to maintain it for so many years that it had deteriorated already.
Right. But the thing is, excuses were made. It's like, oh, well, it was Vermont's problem. Oh, no, it's for New York's problem. Oh, we didn't have the technology to do this.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars, bridge blown up, bridge rebuilt, excuses were made, and the new one's already crumbling.
Well, in the city I'm living in now, when the highway bridge on 35W in Minneapolis collapsed, this was like 10 years ago, that whipped everybody into doing this big inspection of all the bridges. And one of the main bridges in downtown here wound up being closed because they found out it was in such bad condition.
Hmm.
It was closed for 3 years at least. And
Hmm.
that's when I moved away, so I don't know when they finally got around to replacing it.
The thing is, Purple, the moral of the story is we let them make excuses like they're only into quarters, or they're only into
but
this, or Trump fired FEMA, or this, that, and the other thing. We let them make their excuses and we don't hold them accountable. We need to start holding them accountable. There has to be a penalty for fucking the people.
I'm
Like, if we vote these people in, they need to do their job. the fact that Trump can't get cabinet members, he needs to be held accountable. The fact that there was nothing in place to handle something like this, he needs to be held accountable. They
Yeah.
all need to be held accountable.
Oh. Well, we've been going for a little over an hour now. So what I'm thinking, because I'm getting hungry, I don't know about the rest of you, but I need to eat. So what I'm thinking is each of you gives one piece of advice on how to deal with being quarantined for the very few among us who don't already live like that under normal circumstances, and then chill your channels a little bit. Let's start with Faye.
Okay, my advice is play a game. Play a computer game, do everything you can, use your Skype and other ways of keeping in touch with people so you don't feel lonely. If you have a pet, yay for you. If just keep yourself as occupied as possible. Maybe this is the time to reorganize your kitchen, clean up, keep your hands washed, that type of thing. My channel, I haven't been making any new videos, but I do plan on it as soon as I can beat the technology monster.
All right. Tria?
There are lots of free courses and free resources online right now. A lot of museums are letting you do virtual tours. So if that's something that you're into, that can be something to kind of pass the time. Also, depending on your family situation, if you're okay with them, if you're not, avoid them like as much as possible. But if you're okay with your family, find things to do together. Because if you're not used to isolating, that can help. And my channel usually talks about being asexual and ex-Mormon, but I think for the duration, I'm going to try to find I probably will continue to talk about asexuality, but I think I'm going to try to find positive things to talk about because we're all stressed right now. And I kind of just don't want to add to people's stress. So, but yeah, if you want to check out stuff about asexuality, there's my channel. If you don't want to listen to depressing subjects, stay away from all the ex-Mormon stuff on my channel.
Pirate Kitty?
I would say YouTube. I mean, find something on YouTube that's fun and frivolous and watch it. If you like cooking, there's a channel called How to Cook That where she does debunking videos on the crappy 5-minute craft type videos. If you like animals, there's plenty of channels you can watch where people are talking about animals. If you like snakes, there's one called Snake Discovery. They've got some great videos. If you like Minecraft, just do Hermitcraft. It's great. 7 seasons, 6 years of YouTube Minecraft videos you can watch if you like Minecraft. There's lots of stuff out there that you can watch and to keep yourself entertained. And then as far as my channel goes, I've done 2 things. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I finally start doing things now that I've relearned my editing software. Might do stuff about intersex people, might do atheist stuff, might do asexual stuff, might do Minecraft. I don't know yet.
All right. Purple?
Yeah, I was gonna go with what Pirate Kitty said about, you can use YouTube for, live streams to find people to chat with. I've also found a lot of very useful tutorials, especially things like car repairs, which is totally outside my wheelhouse. So you can actually find some, very practical videos on, you can actually learn some good stuff. So my channel's Purple Rhymes with Orange. I do live streams Wednesdays at noon Central Standard Time and Thursdays at midnight Central Standard Time.
All right. And the advice I've got to give, if you have exemption with your a quarantine thing where you're allowed to go to like public parks, do that. Do a little exercise at home, maybe clean up your house a little bit if it's kind of a train wreck like mine. Other than that, I got nothing. Subscribe to my channel. I am racing Godless Unicorn to 1,000 subscribers, and she's probably going to beat me, but that's okay. Yeah, I make mostly atheist content, talk about the Catholic Church, or at least I used to. I don't do that as much anymore because I don't know reasons. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. And until next time, definitely subscribe to all of my panelists, by the way. They're awesome. And follow their Twitters and whatnot. And see you in the next one.
See ya.
Later, all.
Bye.